So tonight, as I said, I'm going to talk about the cover and commercial print competition at CMTC. So these are two separate competitions, but they are very similar. So that's why I thought we should talk about them together. But they are two different competitions, okay? So that is important to keep in mind. So we're going to start mainly with what the competition is. So for both cover and commercial print competition, when you arrive at CMTC at event check-in from 4 to 7 p.m. on the Wednesday, May 8th, you will also be handing in your cover and commercial print photo, or one or the other. It just depends which one you are entered into. So you could be entered into both cover and commercial print, or you could just be entered into cover, or you could just be entered into commercial print. So whichever competitions you are entered into, you would hand in your photos. So it needs to be the original photo. It can't be a photocopy. The quality is just not high enough when it's a photocopy. So we do need the original printed photo. The print can be in either color or black and white. And this is the same whether it's the photo for cover or the photo for commercial print, okay? The maximum size the photo can be is 9 by 12. So I recommend either 8 by 10, especially if you're more on the acting side and you're using a headshot. 8 by 10 is fine. 9 by 12 is more the model standard size that goes in portfolios. So 9 by 12 is kind of the max that it can be, and is a great size. It really gives agents the ability to see the photo and not have like a smaller photo that they're trying to look at. Okay. On the back of the photo, you will need to write your name, the contestant's name. So parents, if you're watching this for your child, you would write your child's name. And then your contestant number, which you will find out prior to getting to CMTC. I think you find out in April. And then your division. So child 4 to 7, child 8 to 11, female 12 to 15, female 16 to 19, female 20 plus, male 12 plus, or talent. If you are entering cover competition and you are in the talent division, you would put your photo in the age category that you are in. For commercial print, you would put it in the talent section. Okay? So very important to write that onto the back. And yes, you can use the same photo that you used for the program book for either cover or commercial print. I wouldn't recommend putting the same photo for both cover and commercial print, as they're being judged for two different things. So the photo wouldn't represent what you would see on a cover of a magazine and a good commercial print option, right? So you would want to have two different photos if you are in both competitions. But you can certainly put the same photo that you use as your headshot for the program book into one of those competitions, okay? But if you are in both, you would want separate photos, different photos for each, okay? Do you have to be entered into these two? You don't have to be entered into these competitions. No, if these are the ones that you are in, this is why I'm explaining it. Like last week I explained runway, and if you weren't in runway, then I was just giving you extra information. Okay? I'm going to get to the difference between cover and commercial print in just a second. So same details as I was saying. You're going to submit one photo when you arrive on the Wednesday. You have till Thursday at 4 to actually submit it to the information booth, but you should do it on Wednesday night when you arrive there. Your photo can be in color or black and white. It needs to be the original, so no photocopies, and the max size that the photo can be is 9 by 12s, okay? On the back of the photo, you need to put your name, your contestant number, which you find out in April, and your division, okay? I also recommend if you are doing both cover and commercial print, I would write on the back of the photo cover for your cover photo and commercial print for your commercial print photo, just to make sure that the right one ends up in the right competition. Though there never has been a mix-up, I would just be safe rather than sorry. What we also recommend is that if you are taking a photo out of your portfolio and handing it in, that before you get to CMTC, you make a copy of that photo. So you make a copy to keep in your portfolio so that you can show to agents, okay? So I know I did send out an email this week kind of explaining that, so I'm just going to explain a little bit more. For example, if you have 4 photos in your portfolio. Okay, you're going to CMTC with 4 photos in your portfolio, and then you're in both cover and commercial print. So you take out of your portfolio 1 photo for cover, and then you take out another photo for commercial print. You only have 2 photos left in your portfolio, okay? And you don't get your cover and commercial print photo back until Sunday. So what we recommend is that you go to anywhere that does photocopies, Staples, Walmart, things like that, and you get these 2 photos, your cover and commercial print one, you get them photocopied. And then you put the photocopies in your portfolio. So that way you have 4 photos in your portfolio. Okay? That's why we suggest that laser copy, as we need the originals, because what happens is our first, second, and third winners for these competitions are projected on the big screen at CMTC during the awards ceremony. So we do need the most high quality photos, okay? So that is kind of the main rules for cover and commercial print. The difference between cover and commercial print. So for cover, your photo should be more what you would see on the cover of a magazine. Okay, so it's probably not going to be super smiley. It's probably going to be a little bit more serious. Kids, though, it would still probably be smiley, the 4 to 7, 8 to 11-year-olds. 12 plus, it might be a little bit more more serious, or, you know, there's a different emotion with your face. And then commercial print photo would be more something that you're trying to sell an object, okay? So you're probably going to be more smiley in it. I recommend trying not to put any like hands on your face when you're doing commercial print. Really what they look for when they're looking for commercial print is they will cover your mouth and see, are your eyes telling a story? Yes? Great. Then they cover your eyes and they see, is your mouth telling a story? Great. Can I see this person selling an object? Okay? So if you had looked at our Instagram over the last 2 days, I posted a photo yesterday of Michelle, a little girl, and her photo is perfect for cover. She has a little bit more of a serious face going on. It's a headshot. It could be a full body if that was what it was. It could also be a nice face shot. You know, she's kind of a little bit more styled, things like that. And then I posted one today, which was more commercial print of Yasmin. And if you look at her, she's very smiley in the photo. It kind of looks like she's selling the purse in the photo. So that's what we're looking for in those ones. Okay, so I see a few questions coming up that I didn't get to answer. So does everyone understand the difference between cover and commercial print competition? So these are 2 separate competitions at CMTC. You can be entered into both, or you could be entered into one or the other, or you decided not to do these ones, okay? So what's the deadline for each competition? So for cover and commercial print photo, you need to submit it by Thursday, May 9th at 4 p.m. by 4 p.m. at the information booth at CMTC. So you have lots of time to get your photos ready for cover and commercial print competition, as they are not due until you arrive. So again, I suggest once you do your event check-in, then you just hand in your photos for cover or commercial print or both, and you're done. Like right away, you've gotten there at CMTC and you already completed 2 competitions. That's pretty amazing. The photos can definitely be edited. However, remember, we do really want to see you, so try not to over Photoshop them, okay? But they definitely can be edited. The photos can either be full body, chest up. It doesn't really matter. It's really more or less, what is your face doing? How are you selling it? The overall feel of the photo is what we go for, okay? And what the agents look at. Do we dress casual for the cover? You can certainly dress casual for the cover. Again, it's not so much about what you're wearing, and it's more about how you're posing and like the facial expression that you're giving. So definitely keep that in mind, okay? How many photos should you have? So for cover, you need 1 photo. For commercial print, you need 1 photo. And if you are doing the photography competition, you need 2 photos. So if you are doing those 3 competitions, you need a minimum of 4 photos, okay? How many photos do we need just for commercial print? For commercial print, it is 1 photo only, okay? Your photos, yes, can be edited. Should you be looking directly at the camera for these photos? I wouldn't, you can, by all means, you can certainly look directly at the camera. It really makes your eyes tell more of a story when you are connected to the camera. When you're looking off of the camera, often what happens is people are trying to figure out what you're looking at. And especially in the photo, if you can't see what you're looking at in that photo, it leaves a mystery. And then agents are like, whoa, what was happening over there? Things like that. So you definitely want to, kind of make eye contact or just maybe a bit off of right focus, like maybe if your face is turned, things like that. But often what happens is when you look at a photo, you often follow the eye line and where they're looking. So what's happening when you're looking away is you're making the agent look away as well, right? And now they're no longer looking at you, they're trying to figure out what you're looking at. So I don't mean like you need to stare right directly at your camera like this, but I wouldn't be like, that probably wouldn't be helpful, okay? Does that make sense, everybody? I'm just going to keep looking for a few more of these questions. Do you need a portfolio? I recommend if you already are going to be doing these 3 competitions and have 4 photos, to just get yourself a portfolio. I think you can really get them anywhere, like Walmart or Michael's or any craft store, and just have extra pictures printed out and put in a portfolio and bring that along with you. It just gives you another thing that you can show agents. Be like, yeah, like actually this is what I can do in front of a camera if they ever ask to see more. It doesn't hurt to have a portfolio at all. Not at all. And especially if you already have to have your program book photo, again, get an extra one, get one printed and put it in a portfolio for you. Your cover and commercial print ones, get extra ones printed, put them in your portfolio. And your 2 for photography, get them printed and put it in a portfolio. Then you have yourself a little portfolio there. All right. Again, these photos also don't need to be professional. You can go out with your phone and take amazing, beautiful photos. You can have your friends take them. I wouldn't recommend so much a selfie for cover or commercial print. I definitely would recommend someone else taking the photo for you, and not doing so much of like the holding the camera, because you can definitely see it in your shoulders and overall in the photo. So I recommend having someone take them. So maybe one day you arrange with a friend or a parent or somebody, and you go out and you try to take your cover and your commercial print photos, and maybe some extra and your photography competition photos, and maybe you have a few extra ones that like don't work for those competitions but are still beautiful photos. So get those printed out as well and add into your portfolio. Perfect. So if you want to join any of these competitions that I've talked about, or you're not sure which competition you are currently registered for, you can email registration@cmtc.ca and simply ask what competitions you're in. Or if you go to the, on our website, it's under the, sorry, I'm going to do it as I talk to you. Under convention information, it's request the change or add, and then you would go in there and simply write in to me letting me know what competitions you'd like to add or switch. Okay, so you can definitely do that. And there is what was I going to say? You can switch your competitions, you can't delete any, and you can add, and then there is a password for the password protected site, and that is in all of your emails that I send out every Friday, okay? So if you want to add any competitions or change anything, you definitely just have to go there and let me know. If you miss any of our chats, they are definitely all on Facebook and on our YouTube channel as well, and I send them out by email every Friday. If you are not getting my emails on Fridays, guys, which will have these videos in there, please let me know and I will make sure I get you on the mailing list. But we are sending it out to every solitary person, no matter what, if you are in the competition or if you aren't in the competition. I send out several emails a week about the specific competition that I'm talking about on Wednesdays, okay? Should you wear makeup in the photos? Sure, I wouldn't go crazy. We really do want to see you, and that's really what it is all about. The agents want to see you. They know what a good makeup team and a good photography team and a good styling team can do, but what they want to know is what you can do in front of the camera. So it's not so much about the makeup and the outfit and the hair and everything like that. it's more about what are you capable of doing in front of the camera, because they know what their teams can do. And they know that if I put you with a really good team, that you're going to succeed. Okay, so you can wear makeup. If you want to try doing crazy makeup, sure. But again, I think, again, keep it simple. I keep going back to what Ray said for the TV commercial. You're just adding one more element, especially if you're doing your own photos and your own makeup. You're adding one more element that could mess up, or you could make a mistake, or it's just adding another layer that could affect you in some way. Okay? Yes, phone quality is perfectly fine. I would take it when you actually go to get it printed. Ask them what is the best size to get it printed in. Maybe 8x10 or 9x12 is too big, and when you go to print it out like that, it's very pixely and it's blurry. We would rather a good quality photo than a pixely or blurry one. So if the max that you can get in your photo is a 5x7, then print it in a 5x7. Okay? Again, agents, we're not crazy people. We do understand what it will be like when you have a strong team and when you have a good photographer, and what we really want to see is you. So if a 5x7 is all that you can get printed and that's the quality of the photo, to get the quality of the photo, then just print a 5x7. Okay? You don't need an object in the photo for commercial print. I sent out an email this week which actually showed all of our first, second, and third winners of last year for both commercial print and cover. So I sent it for each division. It's all in one email, so you can definitely see on there what the photos look like from last year that won in that competition. Again, it's not about winning. That was just an example to be able to show you. It really is about getting that exposure and getting in front of everyone, but this also gives you a great example of what they kind of look for in the photos, as a lot of the photos for commercial print don't have an object in it. Like, I'm not looking for you holding up a toothpaste and like smiling and being like, yeah, I'm selling toothpaste. That's not what commercial print is really like. When they're judging commercial print, that's not really what they're looking for. Do I recommend a background plain, or can you go outside? You can certainly go outside. I've definitely seen some that are outside that have one. Like I say before, I do recommend the plain background. It's adding another element that could go wrong. Something could be out of place, things like that. But again, if you have a stunning photo and it's more about you, it's not about the background. If your face looks amazing in it, if your pose is strong, then and you're outside, then go with it. But we do want to see you, so make sure if you're, right now I'm from Ottawa and it's crazy cold out, so if I was to go outside, I'd be bundled up and you would not be able to see my face. So it would not be a good time to go out and get photos outside for me. So I wouldn't submit those photos. So, but if it's nice where you are or you have some from before where you're outside, then yes, go for it. Okay? It's not, it's neither encouraged nor discouraged to have an actual product in your photo for commercial print. They might not have had any photos in or products in because maybe last year no one really did. I don't have everyone's photos from last year. I only have the first, second, and third winners. So it just really depends. Like, and if it is, again, I wouldn't do it in a cheesy way. I wouldn't be holding like a toothpaste, like smiling. Like, again, the photo that I posted of Yasmin where she's holding the purse like this or whatever it is, it's not overly, and she's smiling in it and she's like these beautiful eyes going on. It's not so much like selling the purse, but if I looked at that ad, I look at it and I'm like, that could be a winner's ad. That's what I see in it. I see winners. So that's where I'm looking for. I'm not looking for like the cheesy placement type of ads, but something where you can look at it and be like, you know what? That would be great for Old Navy. Or, oh, you know what? I could see that for H&M. Things like that. When you start looking at the photo and you're like, you know what? That's a great ad for that. Exactly. So if you think about, in general, when you look at advertisements for H&M, Gap, things like that, they're not overly like perfectly posed, right? And they're just about the outfits. So commercial print can also be like that, where it's not about a product, but your product is actually your outfit and you're selling more or less the brand. So keep that in mind too, that it doesn't have to be a a product. And I know I keep going back to the toothpaste thing, but it doesn't have to be lipstick or anything like that. It can just be that you're selling your clothes or you're selling a company's clothing brand, okay? Doesn't matter how much makeup I wear. Nope, I've already talked about that. They don't need to be professional. I don't recommend just a selfie though. I do recommend someone else taking them, even if they are taking them on your phone, but I do not recommend actually holding the camera in it. You can see it in your shoulders. You can see it in your face. It's also not good when you are taking photos to be looking, like watching what your facial expression is doing, right? And things like that. You really want to just go with it and have fun and take a lot of photos, and then afterwards go through the photos and be like, okay, I need to change this, this, and this, and try again. Okay? For commercial print, doesn't matter, your hair can be up or it can be down. Photography I talked about 2 weeks ago now, but it is when you're holding 2 photos and you're walking around the room being asked questions by the agents. Where is the next audition? We are not auditioning till fall of 2019 for CMTC 2020, but you can find everything out on our website. So 1 photo for each competition handed in at sign-in. Yes, 1 for cover and 1 for commercial print if you are in both those competitions. You do not hand the photos in for Go See. You actually hold on to them and walk around the room, and then when you're done, you put them back in your portfolio or an envelope or whatever. Okay? You could certainly have accessories. I've seen people maybe with like a big ring on and like, I don't know, they're doing something with their hand and it's like, oh, that's like a jewelry ad. Yep. Someone told me, you can have a beard. Yeah, by all means. It's definitely a huge thing right now. There's, yeah, beards are fine. Go for it. Yep, not a problem. There is no physical, oh, sorry, that's a great question. There's actually no competition to go to for cover and commercial print. Once you hand your photo in, you're done that competition. We take care of it from there. So we make sure that all of your photos get seen by the agents and casting directors and judges, and then they look at the photos and judge the competition. So it's done on a closed set. You don't have to worry about it. You're done. That's what I'm saying. These are great, easy competitions because they're done as soon as you get there. Awesome. Can they have an animal in it? Yeah, sure. Again, just adding another element, but yeah, by all means, you can definitely do that. I know our CMTC alum, Fatima, she was just in a magazine and there was like dogs on set. So, and the photos look amazing. So yeah, like if you can do that, sure. Could you wear a hat? Yes. Yep, you can totally wear a hat. I wouldn't wear one that's maybe covering up too much of your eyes or anything, but if you're wearing like a hat or things like that, for sure. Again, remember commercial print, it really is about the eyes and the mouth, so you don't want to be covering up any of that part of your facial expression. The photo you hand in. So you hand in 1 photo for cover. At event check-in, you hand the photo in, and you hand in 1 photo for commercial print, okay? So if you're in both those competitions, you'd be handing in 2 photos, 1 for cover, 1 for commercial print. You'll write on the back of them your contestant name, your contestant number, the division you're in, and then I recommend cover or commercial print, okay? You can certainly have a beard. Go for it. Oftentimes for males, when they ask you to come on set, they always ask you to bring a razor with you, because sometimes what they'll do is they'll shoot 1 look with your beard and then they might have you shave for the second look, just to give you more variety to really show. But if you have a beard, you can wear a beard. How about a photo for commercials is 2 years ago? If your photo is 2 years old, as long as it still looks like you, because that's what you're trying to do, is you're trying to get the exposure of what you look like. So if the photo is 2 years old and it still looks like you, go for it. Can they be the same for cover and commercial print? I recommend no, because they are being looked at for different things, right? Cover is being looked at for, could it be on the cover of a magazine? And commercial print is looking, could it sell an object, right? You're looking for 2 different things in those. So if you submit the same photo, it's really hard that same photo showcases both a cover of a magazine and selling a product, okay? We don't have seminars in these comps. I don't understand that question, sorry. The photos can be any size, no bigger than 9 by 12. I recommend, as long as it's high quality, get the biggest you can. I recommend 9 by 12 or 8 by 10. But if the biggest you can get it printed quality wise is 5 by 7, get it printed 5 by 7. It's technically not the same agents looking at cover and commercial print, because it's the agents that would be booking covers of magazines are looking at the cover photo, and agents that would be more looking for commercial print models would be looking at the commercial print photos. And like a lot of times they do go back and forth, and they'll look at each other's books and like photos, just to get to see who's out there and what their photo quality is. But really the ones that are judging and looking at the photos are because that's what they do. Like Charlie, for example, who is with Funny Face Today, he's the major commercial print agent in New York. So he's really looking because he wants to know who could do commercial print in New York. So he's really looking for that in commercial print. So he's not really going to look at cover, and he does still. He does look at cover for sure. He'll go through them, but he's not as like, he really looks at the commercial print because he's like, that's where my focus is. But he'll look at the cover ones just to make sure that like there isn't someone in there that like submitted a photo that he's like, actually that person would be amazing in commercial print. It's more of a commercial print photo than it is a cover. You know what I mean? So they do kind of both. Everyone kind of looks at both, but really they're more what their specialties are is what they are associated with. And that's kind of what you want. You wouldn't want someone that mainly deals with I'm done. The 16 to 20-year-olds judging the kids, right? Because they're going to be looking for something very specific, and then when they go to look at the kids, they're not going to be looking for that specific thing. So we look for those people that actually hire, book, take on that age range or that look, and then we make sure that they're looking at those photos. Okay? So what do we do after handing in your photos during the weekend? You're done that competition. You get them back on Sunday at callbacks. Difference between photography and commercial print. Commercial print, you're handing the photo in. Photography, you are holding them in front of you while you walk around the room answering questions. So they're getting to see your personality. Commercial print, it's solely based on your photo. Photography, it's your photos and your personality. False eyelashes, I'm sure are fine. Yeah. Room clarity, lighting important. Yes, definitely when you are taking your photos, you do want to have great lighting. I've been receiving a few headshots where you can tell the sun is coming in from the one side and there's a shadow on one side of the face. And then I'm letting everyone know, like, that's not a great photo just because the one side of your face is darker than the other. Or if you have blinds going on and then there's like weird lines going across your face, again, that's not a great quality, great lighting. So definitely make sure that maybe you're facing into the lighting, but that you're not squinting. Again, that if you do put your phone in front of you, that you're not then having the phone image on your face. Okay, so lighting is very key when you are taking photos. Yeah, there's definitely seminars and workshops going on at CMTC. For sure, there's lots going on. Yep. Well, you do need to prepare for cover and commercial print because you do need to have your photos done before CMTC and hand in then. But they definitely tell you more. Like there's a great Asian panel that talks about what it's like to model in Asia. There's some great workshops about how to nail an audition, what's it like to be a model in New York, things like that. That's what they're really talking about and showcasing.